Peace be with you. I'm coming again and talking about the second chapter of this book, The Quest for Meaning. And the second chapter of this book is talking about of the universal. And this is a very important topic because from the very beginning, there is a misunderstanding when it comes to speak about the universal. Of course, when you come from a tradition, you can be a Buddhist, a Hindu, or you can be a Jew, a Christian, or a Muslim. At the end, every one of us in his or her respective tradition thinks that this is a universal message. Now, what is very important, and this is natural to think about the fact that this is universal because we think that this is the truth. The most important thing is what is the truth saying about the truth of the others, of the other traditions. And this is where we have to come back to the very essence of our tradition and think about the two ways the people have been talking about the universal. The universal could come out of a revelation. It's a top-down reality. The truth is there, sending us the message, and this is the universal. And there is a rationalist tradition speaking about the fact that, in fact, the universal is going to come out of the common rationality among human beings. So it's a bottom-up construction of the universal, and then, of course, the shared universal when it comes to the shared rationality of human beings. And we have here to ask ourselves, is it possible between the bottom-up and the top-down ideologies or religious take on what is the universal to come to an agreement? And this is where I'm using an image, a metaphor of the mountain with the summit. At the top of the mountain, this is where we will find the universal, but there are different paths. And in every tradition, and it is true for Islam, but it's true in the Jewish tradition, in the Christian tradition, the Buddhist tradition, the Hindu tradition, and among the rationalists and in philosophies, all the philosophies are acknowledging the fact that there is many paths, many ways through which you can reach the top. And then many paths with their singularities coming, heading to the top, to the mountain, where we will find the common universal or the shared universal values. So this is an important understanding, which is I belong to the truth, but truth does not belong to me. This is the starting point of the intellectual humility, which is connected to faith or with rationality. We need to have intellectual humility, religious humility, spiritual humility. Everything is about this humility. And then it's important from a religious viewpoint not to look at the mountain from the top and say, this is me, this is my property, and then everything else has no value. No. We have to look at the mountain from where we are, understanding the different paths, understanding the diversity of the paths and the ways, and being in this way quite humble. In this chapter, what I'm also talking about, and with the diversity of views, it's also to speak about what is dangerous at the end of the day. If we think about the universal and we speak about this image of the mountain, this metaphor of the mountain, the most difficult and the most dangerous, in fact, reality when it comes to our intellectual understanding of this relationship that we have with truth and the universal is the dogmatic mind. And it's not only coming from the religious traditions. A dogmatic mind could be a rationalist, could have a dogmatic mind. And we see today new atheists, the way they deal with their assertive atheism is very dogmatic. It's very arrogant. And the dogmatic has a binary mind, a binary way. It's polarized. I'm right, so you are wrong. So there is no way to deal with the universal. The universal is mine, so this is the real, this is the truth. So if this is the truth, by a logic equation, you are on the wrong side. You are wrong. And what is truth for me is in fact just proving the fact that what you are believing in is wrong. The dogmatic mind is this vision and this perception that at the end truth belongs to me. And it's a deep discussion in this chapter, looking at different traditions, looking at the way the dogmatic mind could be working or at work in our intellectual discussion today. And it has to do with another notion when it comes to the universal, to the universal and universality. It has to do with powers, because at the end, power, if you think that you have the monopoly, it means that you have the power to set the right things and to say this is what is right and to impose onto the others. This was the civilizational missions that we had with the colonizers, and it's also a perception coming from religious people that we have to convert people, we have to impose because this is the truth. So we have to go deep in this discussion, and this is where during the chapter, the second chapter, I'm dealing with these issues and ending by saying, if there is something which is called universal in our values, in our world today, in our intellectual journey, spiritual journey, or religious journey, or philosophical journey, it is but a shared universal values. So acknowledging the diversity and heading towards something which is a unity with diversity and no uniformity imposed by dogmatic minds. This is the second chapter. I will come to you for the third chapter, inshallah. Peace be with you, and never forget to tell the people you love that you love them. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.